Padraig, right, Padraig, right. Are you working on anything in particular?
I'm really concentrating on my address.
Your address?
I am who I am, and I love who I am.
What's your bad shot? When you hit a bad one, is it a pull?
Oh, it's a block fade on
A block fade?
with a driver on a left-right hole.
Okay.
That's the one shot I hate.
When it comes to golf, I'm the guy who had to learn it.
If you were going to play a little punch shot under the wind now on a seaside course, how would you go on? If you're playing a sort of half shot with that club under the wind?
That's who I am, and I've enjoyed that I've had to learn it. I know too much. There's no doubt about it. You know, I have to deal with it. Yeah, but it's fun. I would hate to do this and not know. I need control. I need to understand, and it took me a long time in golf to figure that out. I was born 31st of August 1971, the youngest of 5 boys. My father was a policeman. Mother was, well, she worked part-time, but really a housewife. I came from quite a sporting family. My father was a very successful Gaelic football, which is basically a mix between soccer and Australian rules football.
The lads from the Boyne Valley were quickly into their stride.
Stretch the lead they did, with the help of Padraig Harrington.
Because of that, I played all sports. You know, all my brothers played. We were a very competitive family. I played hurling, a very physical game, very exciting, very fast. Probably, I have to say, actually, probably the most exciting game in the world. Probably about 14 years of age before golf became my #1 sport. I played in a golf course, Stackstown Golf Club, situated in the Dublin Mountains, so it's very windy, very exposed, so it's exceptionally tricky. And no matter how well you played, you're only going to hit 6, 7, 8 greens and around the golf. So you had to learn how to get it up and down, how to take a risk when you needed to take a risk. Probably the most defining part of me is that golf course, Stackstown. It definitely defined who I was.
Beautiful golf shot.
That was right.
That's a super shot. That's a super golf shot. There you are. That is absolute perfection.
The competition with my brothers, there's no substitute for trying to beat older siblings, and we played a lot, we competed a lot. I always gambled. If it was for a plate of chips or a Coke or a golf ball, it was competitive. They'd be bustling me psychologically, trying to put me off at times, because they knew I was getting better and better, so they'd have to try every trick in the book to beat me and harden me up. I wasn't a pretty golfer, that's for sure, and it was easy to overlook me. If you looked at me playing a golf course, you would never consider that I was shooting the scores I was shooting, because it just didn't look pretty. It was easy to think that as much as I won last week, that it wasn't going to last. But I got the job done, and that really was what it was all about for me. Certainly at 18 years of age, I had no inclination to turn pro. I went to do night school and did accountancy at night. I played golf during the day, but with no intention of being a professional. I didn't think I was good enough. As much as when I was studying accountancy, I was saying, well, hey, I can always be a golfer. I was also saying when I was playing golf, well, if this doesn't work out, I can always be an accountant. So I spent 4.5 years at night school, passed all my exams. I took a year off just to play golf, and I turned pro at the end of 1995. I often wonder where my obsession with practice came from. I would always put in 12 hours a day. I would have no problem as a pro. Most of my weeks, tournament weeks, are 70, 80 hours of work. I love it. I do have issues with it, there's no doubt about it. My first event in Durban, it was probably 40 degrees of heat. And I spent 12 hours there hitting shots. But that was just my nature. And I've got to say, that's who I am, and I love doing it. I do have to manage it, but you know, that's what I like doing. I love getting out there and take immense pleasure and enjoyment out of practicing.
What is he doing?
Another contraption for a three-time major champion in Padraig Harrington.
You know, I would have a reputation for trying the weird and wonderful when it comes to developing my golf swing.
Trying to figure out what he does on the range at times is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with a blindfold on.
Because I have no shame and no embarrassment, I don't care what I do in front of anybody.
He's got the ball teed up in front of a head cover. He's got sort of his feet together.
If it's going to make me a better player, it doesn't bother me. I do a lot of things on the range that other players would do behind closed doors.
I'm telling you, folks, that's crazy.
Look, Greg, we have no idea what he's doing.
I have no embarrassment. I understand where this fits into in my life.
We hadn't seen players do this. I mean, this is taking it to a whole new level.
I'm prepared to go out there, and if it's going to help me get better, I'll do it. So yeah, I have tried just about everything to make me better. I'll always be rushing out at the end of daylight to hit shots. I'll hit up until I can actually not see the golf ball in front of me. I've broken a few windows in hotels, and I know somewhere I might have taken a little bit of a divot out of a carpet. I always prided myself on being an individual and doing my thing. All the way through my golfing career, there's been a desire to improve. Muirfield in 2002 was the strangest week for me. It's the first time I had a real chance of winning a major tournament, winning the Open Championship. I played phenomenal that week. 4 days of the best tee to green golf I've ever had.
Beautifully played.
I was gutted. I was genuinely gutted. And I was gutted because I could take nothing away from the week, because I didn't know why I played well. If anything, it actually disappointed me that I just couldn't figure out why. Why did I play so much better this week than another week?
Wonderful iron, beautifully struck.
To me, it felt like an exceptional week that I didn't feel I had control of or could repeat.
Big reception for Padraig Harrington.
As much as I had a chance of winning, I went away from it feeling that I needed to get lucky to win a major. There's no doubt Carnoustie is the toughest of all the championship golf courses we play. The golf course itself over the years has, you know, thrown up headlines like Carnoustie, and it can be an absolute brute. And particularly the toughest 18th hole in any competitive golf.
I don't believe this.
And every time you walk down that 18th hole, you look exactly where Van de Velde hit his second shot.
This is so sad.
What if he did this? What if he did that?
No, this really is beyond a joke now. He's gone gaga.
Every time I play the hole, I think about it.
To attempt to hit the ball out of there is pure madness.
That's a great position to be in a lot of times in a big tournament, because you've nothing to lose. You know, there's no pressure on you. I went out on Sunday and played awesome. The first 13 holes had gone remarkably well. But I don't look at leaderboards, I play my own game. My caddy knows there's always a point in the golf course where if you're chasing, you're going to have to take a risk. So the 14th hole was that at Carnoustie. If we're really chasing, you know, we hit driver. Within one shot of the lead, we lay up. So when you get to the 14th tee and he pulled out the 5 wood, I had to settle myself. You know, this game of golf, it's never that predictable. I actually pushed my tee shot with the 5 wood and finished 2 yards short of the bunker I was trying to lay up at. From there, I hit that 4 iron.
A bounce and a hop and a skip and a jump and a luck of the Irish.
And then hold the free eagle anyway.
Harrington for eagle. Yes! I don't believe it. What else can happen?
I don't think I was ever as excited in my life, because I knew I had a chance of winning the Open. I was really confident on 18, but I do think it is the hardest finishing hole in golf. Stood in the tee, really confident, burst it down there. I was buzzing, and I hit an appallingly bad tee shot.
Would you believe it? And he just lashed at that.
I walked off the tee and says, everybody can hit a bad shot.
They'll have to pick it out, drop 2 and play 3.
I had 228 to the flag in a right to left downwind with out of bounds left, out of bounds long, water short, and you can't miss it right because you can't get up and down from there. It's a golf shot you'd never ever want to take on in your entire life. And I hit another appalling shot.
A mishit. Oh, no, 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 no. Twice in the water.
I thought I'd lost the Open. The only time in my life I think I've ever been on the golf course and embarrassed.
Not quite Van der Veld, Sam, but not a million miles away from it so far.
I choked. I would have been happy for the ground to open up and swallow me up. I just didn't want to go on. I'd worked hard with my caddy and Bob Rotella on the right mental talk on the golf course, and my caddy, he started into it. He said, it's not over. One shot at a time, let's finish it out. All the cliches, and they are all cliches. I could start naming them, they are cliches. So he starts giving me these cliches into my ear for 50 yards, and I just wanted to kill him. I'm sure he took the club off because I would have hit him with it. I'd lost the Open. I didn't want to know anything. I'd say after 50 yards, for whatever reason, maybe I started listening to him. And in the last 50 yards, because I only hit it 150 yards or so, I actually believed him. Always when you see somebody winning a major, something strange happens during the week. I went from being in the zone to dropping out of the zone to getting back into the zone.
Fifth shot coming up. All those hours of practice, now just one small.
I hit the chip shot like a child, like a teenager, showing off. As the ball was in the air, the crowd are all oohing and ahhing, and in my head I'm saying, watch this, it's gonna spin. I honest to God, you couldn't have put me in a better place. And sure enough, it did spin, checked up there, 6 feet behind the hole.
Delightful shot.
If he can knock that in, Sergio Garcia needs a 4 at the last to be the Open champion. What drama.
So I've got this 6-footer to hold. It was a very awkward putt. If you hit the putt left lip, it was going to go straight. If you hit it right half, it was going to miss right. So essentially, there was only half a hole to aim at, and it was sheer doggedness that got it in the hole.
Well done, but it's a 6. Sergio still has to play the final hole.
So I've walked off. My son ran out onto the back of the green. I picked him up, he was 3.5 years of age, and he looked at me like I was the champion. I was devastated still, especially at that point, because it was over as far as I was concerned. In his head, I was still a winner, still a champion, so, there was no time to be despondent at that stage.
Drills it away. It's a good start.
Probably the most interesting thing from that moment on was I sat watching Sergio come down the last, and I kept saying to myself, I'm going to win the Open. Stay in here. But I never looked at him hitting a shot with the idea, I need him to make a mistake. He had to bogey the last for me to get in the playoff, but I just kept saying, I'm going to win the Open. So when he missed and there's a playoff, I didn't feel like I was getting a second chance. I was in the same frame of mind I was before he hit the putt as I was afterwards. I was just, I'm going to win this. Coming down the 4th playoff hole, the last hole, I obviously had a 2-shot lead. Still had 100 yards into the green, and I hit a very average sand wedge to 30 feet. I kept saying I was going to win, but at no stage would I allow myself feel like I'd won, because I knew I needed that intensity. I'd hit a beautiful putt from 30 feet. But, you know, I knew it wasn't over. When I went to tap in that 2-footer, I've never made a more fluid routine. The rhythm through my routine was just unbelievable. It was as routine as it possibly could be. I just rolled it into the middle of the hole like it was nothing. The ball has gone into the hole, it's gone down into the bottom of the hole, it's practically stopped, and I'm still looking at it going, is that it? Okay, have I done it now? Nobody's going to take it away. Can I now celebrate? Can I now enjoy it? And it was exhilarating. You know, you've won the Open Championship. I never expected it. That was not my destiny. There's plenty of kids in sport who have a destiny at the very highest levels. It was not my destiny. It was something I dreamed about for sure. To have done it was amazing. Like, my name is etched in history. You know, my defence of the 2007 Open was actually Royal Birkdale in 2008. Another strong championship golf course. I played a small tournament the week before in Ireland, PGA Championship. Bear in mind, I'd won the tournament at about 10 o'clock that night. I was at home and I was doing some speed work. In my wisdom, I decided, well, I'll do a one-hander Happy Gilmore into the impact bag. And when I hit the bag, I sprained my wrist. Obviously not a great time to do that. It was a serious injury. When I say it was touch and go whether I was going to play, I don't think anybody else would have played. If it wasn't the Open, I wouldn't be here. Then I would have pulled out for Sunday.
Continues to be a very wild day, and it's a battle.
Beautiful shot from Padraig there, considering he's had a dodgy old wrist for a few days.
Bar the 1 hour of weather that we had at Muirfield in 2002, which was possibly the worst weather I've ever been on a golf course. This was the worst I think I've ever had to tee it up in. So we struggle on, and I poked my drive into some heathery, briary stuff, kind of wiry stuff, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, oh, I don't know if this is going to hold out, but I've got to hit it.
Now this is just the sort of shot that Harrington won't want, particularly with a bad wrist.
So I give it a full go with my lob wedge, and out it came, and it didn't hurt my wrist. I realised, oh, it's actually okay. I don't like playing golf in bad weather. There's no doubt about it. I'd like to play in nice 80 degrees of sunshine, beautiful day, but I know it's my advantage when it's a bad day.
He's a great grafter, isn't he?
He'll like these conditions. Yes. The defending champion on the move.
Ideally, I'd like at least one day like that in every Open Championship, because it does take a huge amount of the field out of play. A lot of them can't handle conditions, and a lot of them give up in the conditions. So I don't enjoy it, but I know that it suits me. I know it's actually playing into my hands. I'd done no practice, I was rested. So in those tough conditions, I was the freshest guy out there.
And I would say that was pretty decent. Go on. Oh, yes.
And then I played awesome after that.
A roar for the champion.
Friday, Saturday, it got real windy, and it was a bear of a golf course in that wind. I came from the wrong side of the draw. It was dream stuff.
Oh, yes. What a brilliant shot.
I did everything right. I played with Greg Norman on the Sunday, and I feared that a lot. I'm not a sentimental person, but I was afraid that the golfing gods were going to give Greg Norman one for the road, that he deserved it. He was such a great player over the years. The media, the hype, the excitement was all about Greg winning. I was so worried that, you know, destiny was giving Greg Norman one last major, and that scared the life out of me, I've got to say. Down the stretch, I hit 2 great shots, 13. I hit a 4-iron to about 15 feet and hold the putt, and that was a big one for me.
Especially if this one drops for Harrington, this for birdie.
Then I hit a great 3-wood onto the 15th.
From 270 yards.
On line.
And 2 putting for birdie. But I came to 17. Again, I have not been watching leaderboards, so I asked my caddy, I said, well, what's the story? He says, well, you're 2 ahead of somebody who's finished. But I was still more worried about Greg Norman. Greg had hit a great drive down 17, and I could see him make an eagle. I was so worried about this story that the media had been selling all week, and it was just panicking me. So, you know, I felt at that stage I had to go and win it. I've got 278 to the flag, and I've got about 240 yards to carry a bunker short of the green. I'm lying on a little downslope on the back of a knoll, and I think, you know what? It's the left to right wind, it is blowing, but 5-wood is my favourite club in the bag. I've just hit a couple of really nice shots with it. I feel great with this club. I'm going to take this on.
He's been very aggressive again. He's going with the fairway wood. This is the 5-wood.
Because I knew if I hit this shot, I was taking Greg Norman out of play. I was taking the field out. So it was within my control if I took the shot on.
He's 2 ahead. This is a bit of a risk in this way, don't you think?
I would have thought so, yes.
I'm prepared to put my neck on the line. I don't fear losing. It doesn't scare me. That's who I am. Clearly, I hit the best shot of my life.
Now there's no bunker at all. That's a ripper. What do we know?
Carnoustie will forever be so exciting because it was my first major, but there was always something wanting afterwards. I'd messed the 72nd hole up. I'd left something behind. There was questions whether I should have won the tournament, whether I deserved to win the tournament playing the hole the way I did. Birkdale extinguished all that.
It is there. How about that? He's just a show-off.
I played the golf. I was one of the favourites. I was under pressure going out there. I was the favourite on Sunday. I played the golf. I hit the golf shots. I did it exactly as you would want to do it, as you would dream about doing it. When I think about myself as a golfer, I'm not the guy you look out and say, wow, he's destined to be the greatest player of all time. I'm the guy who had to learn it, had to figure it out, had to work it out, because the talents I have are the stuff behind the scenes. Has it changed my life? Yeah, I would think it's changed my life. For as long as we go on, there will be an Open Championship and my name will be on that trophy. It's far more than I ever believed I could have done. I have definitely overachieved in this game. But, you know, I'm content with that, and I will enjoy it for the rest of my years.